What's up, my friends? It looks like my stream deck is working again, so that's good news. Also, my mouse is stationary, but the pointer is just going across the screen right now. It's kind of messing with me. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I glow. All right. Anyways, that's enough vanilla ice. That's enough vanilla ice. Let's share the live stream link in the Discord, and then we will go from there for this Saturday evening chill stream. All right. Discord's still trying to get me to go on a quest to get some kind of stupid cosmetic for 2 months. I feel older and older every minute. Okay, let's see here. I don't get the kids these days. Like, what is the point of this? What is the point of playing a game on a connected console for 10 minutes to get a warp helmet avatar decoration for 2 months? Like, what? What? You're just a place for people to have conversations and stuff. What is up with this? What is up with this? All right. So let's see here. We've shared the link. Let's do our hellos. What up, Jess, Zircon, Felonious T, Juglum, Eng, Neff. Who else is in here? Yamagoro, Caustic, Doomblade, Millmaster, Lasagna, Micah, Keebler, Samuelson. I believe that is all the hellos. Hello to all of you. What up, Bob? How's it going, buddy? Oh, hope you guys are doing well today. Today's been a full day for me. I'm feeling half wiped out, man. Went swimming, had a barbecue. Overall, pretty solid day, but I was almost gonna go down for a nap, bro. But I didn't. So now I'm still feeling kind of tired. What up, Pixie? What's going on, Amiibo? Hello, John. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Man, oh man. I just had a couple of Timbits before the stream, a little bit of donut action. I can still kind of taste it. What up, Dasa? Greetings from Germany at 4 a.m. 4 in the morning, bro. That's either really late or you're starting your day real early. Either or. Either I stay up late, but I'm usually in bed by 4, bro. Micah, you got back into Magic? Well, that's what happens just when you think you're out. They pull you back in, right? There were a number of times, actually, in the past where I got out of Magic, but it never really stuck, you know? I ended up coming back. The last time I came back to Magic was, if you don't count that brief period of time where I was really angry with Wizards around, what was that, the second Modern Masters? I don't know, because I didn't really quit then, but that's when I thought I was quitting Magic. Before that, I did stop a few times, so I'd say I've been back in Magic since 8th edition? I jumped in and out a bit before that, but I'd say I was around for most of Magic's history. Most of it. Daz, you had must be a long Commander night if you're done at 4, bro. Yamagoro, you barbecued salmon? I didn't even know you could do that. I literally never conceived of barbecuing fish. But I guess it makes sense. You can cook whatever you want. You can cook whatever you want. Amiibo, you just watched Penguin play Magic. It was painful to watch because they didn't know the rules, but they had a Magic dude shocking them if they got the rules wrong. Well, that's a fun way to do it. That's a fun way to do it. What up, Dominic? How you doing, buddy? Ian, uh, what? The first part of what you said is I owe my comeback because of you and your videos. Oh, are you saying you owe your comeback to me and my videos because you enjoy what I do so much? Well, double thumbs up to that, buddy. Glad you enjoy. Juggling, you're asking if Canadians have ever had salmon with maple glaze. I presume people who eat salmon have. I'm not really into seafood, so I've eaten very little salmon in my life, very little fish overall. So, Amiibo, you also love my content. Thanks, buddy. Dasa, did I state my opinion about Assassin's Creed? Oh, I've talked about it a bunch. It's overpriced. It is an overpriced aftermath style set that, while it may have some fun designs in it, ultimately is not a great product. The guy who owns the game store I go to yesterday was banging on about how unhappy he is about it. So I have no idea how many people genuinely enjoy it. I don't know. So you'll have to see. I guess we'll have to see over time how many people actually picked it up. The easiest way to tell if Assassin's Creed did well is if Wizards does another 7-card pack Universe Beyond product, right? That's the biggest indicator, I would say. Millmaster, you're cooking 10 liters of northern style faux broth. That's a lot. Brent, a newfie who isn't into seafood. No wonder I had to move. I know, right? My whole family loves seafood. Not me, though, bro. Not me. No one's buying it. There was one guy who had pre-ordered 2 collector boxes, apparently. So there are some people who are buying it. Like I watched somebody buy some when I was at the game store yesterday. 100%. 100%. Do I think they're going to do a 1-of-1 ring thing again? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. With Marvel, why wouldn't they? 1-of-1 of all the Infinity Stones, 1-of-1 of the Infinity Gauntlet, right? What's to stop them from doing that? That feels like a real obvious choice, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, McGraw, you finished sleeving your new worm deck up? Right on. 1-of-1 Captain America shield. You could do stuff like that too. I don't know from like a Marvel fan base standpoint what the most desirable 1-of-1s will be, but I feel like the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet are an easy choice for that, you know? I don't know how many 1-of-1s is too many where it kind of dilutes the overall concept. That's right, Micah. They're doing a full-on Marvel set. Dominic, you sold collector boxes just fine for Assassin's Creed. Your play boxes were a total dumpster fire? Huh. I saw a bunch of play booster packs being picked up, but I didn't see anybody looking for collector stuff, specifically, aside from that one guy who's grabbing 2 boxes. But I guess every store is different, right? Brian, you think people FOMO'd into collector boxes because of what happened with Fallout? But it looks like Assassin's Creed is more like Doctor Who. There's some stable demand, but not enough to spike the price. Oh, you think people are buying collector boxes to speculate on them? Huh. Juggling, why would they not make Assassin's Creed Commander decks? I think they might have originally had that as the plan. I think they might have originally had it as the plan to make Assassin's Creed Commander decks. And then they said to themselves, how do we extract more money from this property? Instead of selling commander decks with actual, like, a set contents, why don't we make boosters and go that route? Because a bunch of the stuff they made feels like it's all screaming commander and a bunch of it would work together, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Amiibo, you think it's a great idea? Get all the Infinity Stones, click your finger, and 50% of everyone's creatures, artifacts, and enchantments beside your own disappear? That honestly sounds way underpowered, right? Like Magic is overpowered at this point, and you have to get 6 different artifacts on the board to be able to remove half of your opponent's permanents. That's way too weak. They're going to keep the stuff that's more powerful, get rid of their jank, and you're going to have wasted 6 slots in your deck or more to make that happen. So I think that would be super underpowered, man. No draft and no commander decks. What's the purpose of the set? The purpose of the set is obviously to ensnare Assassin's Creed fans and bring them into Magic. What was it? It was today, actually, I saw it. Rosewater shared some stats that said that basically, based on Wizards' internal polls, only 7% of respondents are interested in a format that excludes Universes Beyond. So, from their research, way more people want Universes Beyond and are interested in playing with it than not. So take that for what you will, right? It's just like they've decided that Universes Beyond are the way to bring more new blood into the game, and if it alienates people, they represent such a small portion of the player base that they don't matter and you don't listen to them, right? It would be random. That's even worse. That's even worse. Just randomly getting rid of permanents. Then you can't even hope that your opponent makes a bad choice. That would not be strong enough. TC, get all 6 artifacts, you win the game. That's way more along the lines of something they might do, right? Get the Infinity Gauntlet and all the stones, and you just straight up win. I mean, you have to get 6 cards together for that win con. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Have they specifically said it's Avengers they're doing? No, but it feels pretty likely. It feels pretty likely. Brent, super underpowered man doesn't sound like the most inspiring superhero. Caustic, you want to Dune Universes Beyond? Theoretically, it's possible. Who knows? Anything can happen at this point. Wizards has opened the gates for any number of like Universe Beyond properties. They just have to actually like make the deals with the companies that own the properties. Oh, there was recently a picture of Rosewater holding leaks, and it said Mark Rosewater hates leaks, but he was wearing like a Captain America shirt. So that could easily lead into the whole Avengers concept, right? Looking forward to the Taylor Swift stuff. I mean, they were asking about it. It could happen. It could happen. 100%. Dominic says it's important to understand that Wizards is doing a universe beyond utilizing the Marvel comics, not the movies. Well, what's to stop them from trying to capture concepts from the movies using the comics, right? Also, what's to stop them from expanding the deal out with like Disney for more of the Marvel stuff? Aren't they doing like multiple Marvel sets or something like that? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. Millmaster says the new Marvel movies had about as much narrative as your average standard set, so that's fine. There you go. The story in current Marvel movies is about the same level as like Thunder Junction, right? What up, Drew? How you doing, buddy? Micah, you missed the old days of cool planes and good lore? You're not alone. You're not alone. I miss it too. I miss it too. Dominic, you're going to get a metric ton of Marvel collectors. I mean, it's probably going to do really well, right? Like, I expect it's going to do a lot better than Assassin's Creed. Although I don't expect it's going to do as well as Lord of the Rings. That's my guess. That's my guess. TZ's Magic Box Super Chat says, anyone want to see Taylor Swift and Adele as legendary creatures? God. Oh, what a universe. What a universe. All right. It's crazy. It's crazy that Taylor Swift can't be ruled out. When you've got the head designer asking if people would like to see it, that's not a good sign. There'll be an X-Men 97 set or Secret Lair for sure. When the box opens, I remember that. I remember the music for that. It was epic. John, Bloomborough might be the first time you've played Magic in person in years. Looking forward to it. Hell yeah, man. I'm hyped about Bloomborough, honestly. I want to see how the story's going to wrap up. I guess I didn't double check, but I don't think that they released the last installment of the story today. If they did, then I'm behind on making my lore video. But okay, they didn't. So I guess we're going to get the last installment on Monday. I'm looking forward to see what it's going to be. This will be Todd McFarlane Marvel overprinted. Well, Caustic, they're going to print the Marvel stuff for like 2 years, the same way they did with Lord of the Rings. What up, Cramden? I'm doing pretty good. Drew, you're sorry if there was a Taylor Swift Commander deck, you'd have to buy it. There's probably a bunch of people who would buy it. Man, I don't even know how to feel about Magic anymore in some ways because of all this Universe Beyond nonsense. Britney Spears would be a legendary creature with Toxic. Is Britney Spears still big enough to actually warrant getting the Magic treatment, though? What up, Jester? What's the good word? I'm gonna say goat tickler. Yeah, Magar, you think Wizards of the Coast couldn't afford to license like Taylor Swift stuff? She is a very hot commodity. You might be right. Baron, if Swift is cast as Dazzler, she can be in one of the Marvel sets. That's not necessarily true. One of the interesting things about what Wizards does with the Universe Beyond stuff is what their license allows them to do. Certain actors must have contracts that stipulate that you have to pay them extra if you want to use their likeness and things. Because for the Jurassic Park one, the one, I don't know the name of the actor, but he's like the Asian geneticist or whatever who made the Ultra Dinosaur. You don't get to see him from the front. They have him facing backwards because they didn't have the rights to Buddy's likeness. So I don't think it's as simple as you go to Disney, get the rights to Marvel stuff, and then you can just go, anybody who's been in any Marvel thing, we can put in this set. I don't think that's how it works. Yeah, Felonious T. That's what Dominic was saying as well. The license is comic based. There's nothing to stop them from negotiating other licensing, though, right? Millmaster says the average Magic player just wants moments. I won when Gandalf drove Starscream into Tay-Tay on the Spur Griffin. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, actually. 100%. That is the case. That is the reality. One of the hardest things about the Universes Beyond and the current state of Magic the Gathering is recognizing that I am an outlier. I thought I was your everyday average Magic player. I've accepted that I'm not, right? So also Wizards is like they're shifting the demographics more and more by leaning into Commander and Universe Beyond. So anybody who's die-hard Swords and Sorcery fantasy is going to have a much harder time staying in with a lot of the stuff that's coming along, right? So it's just, yeah, it moves ever more forwards in terms of random craziness. And whatever, man. Like I'm very particular about Magic, but other properties not nearly as much. Like Dave the Diver, which is a random computer game that I played and had a bunch of fun with. They did a Godzilla crossover. I hated Godzilla in Magic the Gathering. I thought that was really dumb. But Dave the Diver, no problems. Doesn't trigger me any of it. Any of it, right? Keebler, with the versus system, you only get rights to specific characters. You've been yelling for a Nightcrawler for years. Baron, you're still hoping for Wheel of Time based on the books and not the show. Wheel of Time, Universe Beyond, would be awesome. So would Legend of Zelda. Millmaster, will the pain ever subside, or is there another way to help you enjoy Magic? What, you're going to mash your brain with a hammer? Dominic, yeah, exactly. The comics still have the Infinity War, so it's not a big deal. You just won't see, like, Iron Man as Robert Downey Jr. I agree with that. Do I think Magic would do a crossover with Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? Anything's possible now. Literally anything. If they think it'll bring more people into their game, absolutely. Absolutely. Yamagaro, does having a dozen casual commander decks make you a good target for Wizard? Casual commander players are definitely a big part of who they are courting now. 100%. 100%. Well, whether those other card games would even want to combine up with Magic is a question, but it feels like Wizards of the Coast is open to anything. Felonious T, Fallout proved you could be easily swayed. You used to absolutely hate Universe Beyond. I think the majority of people who don't like Universe Beyond would change their tune as soon as it was a Universe Beyond of something that they really like. So while I don't like the introduction of Universe Beyond overall, I very much like certain properties like Legend of Zelda. Do something like that, I'm going to want it. So I can't say that I hate all Universe Beyond. All I can say is that I don't like the direction the game has taken, and that's about it. That's about it. Amiibo, your vote is overruled. I ain't adding nothing about hammers to the wheel. So yeah, at this point, cat's out of the bag. There's no stopping the Universe Beyond train. It is barreling down the track, and Wizards marketing research is showing them that it's succeeding. Universe Beyond stuff is selling, and it's not just like Lord of the Rings. It's not just Lord of the Rings. It's other things as well. 100%. 100%. Today marks 6 days of only drinking water. I've been sorely tested in the last 2 days. Yesterday with the sweet nectar of Barks root beer nearby, and today I kind of wanted Kool-Aid. But I stuck to my guns and stuck to my boring but thirst quenching water. Paul, yeah, I guess you just heard the Universe Beyonds that I'd like to see. If I had to add 3 Universe Beyond sets, what would they be? I mean, Legend of Zelda is really the only one that's like on my list as I absolutely want it. Absolutely. Other than that, I'm way more open. Amiibo, you drink 2 liters of water every day, but you have a transplanted liver. You love the shit out of water. It's your favorite drink. Well, maybe one day I'll feel the same way. Right now, I miss my sugar water. Really. No, Master, can you do a Barks enema? You can taste out of your butt. It's true. Look it up. That's all right. I don't need to look that up. Martin, coffee has water in it. Almost every beverage has some level of water in it, but means nothing in this situation. Sewer germ, magic, Skyrim, universe beyond. Yep, that would work. That would absolutely work. Would I like a House of Dragons or Game of Thrones set? Yeah. I never watched House of Dragon. Game of Thrones was all right. I read the books, so I didn't watch most of the series, honestly. Certain you grew up on well water, so you can't stand most tap water. Oh, look at you. Look at you, fancy countryman. Paul, you want more trees from Lorwyn? Careful what you wish for. The interplanar race set that's coming out could run through Lorwyn, and the trees will just be like techno trees. Have to use ultra filtered water. Can't drink out of the tap anymore. I have tap water, no problem. I prefer it to be cold, though. Felonious T, you think they went with Fallout to test a relationship with Bethesda first? They probably, well, I mean, the Fallout show coming along, they probably thought that Fallout was going to do better. Skyrim has been around for like a decade, right? So what are you going to do? Doomblade, every boycott or dislike of an IP is 1 3-minute trailer away from ending. Can people, like, you can't even do Magic boycotts. It's not a thing. People can personally decide, I'm not buying Magic. But ultimately, it is what it is. Caustic, oh, what, you think it's bougie to say that I read the books? I started with the show, all right? I watched the first season of the show and enjoyed it, but I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait for the rest of the seasons to come out, so I read the books. And then once the rest of the stuff came out, I had read the books. I didn't care. Dominic says, the Universe Beyonds are mostly gamer related or what gamers are interested in. People got to go to hobby stores with multiple games. All these UB properties are also other games that they sell. Seems like a fair point. Used to drink out of the hose. Yo, I remember drinking out of the hose when I was a kid. You don't want to go inside to get water, so you just run to the side of the house, turn the tap, drink out of the hose. It definitely has a distinctive taste. 2012 launch for Skyrim. It came out in 2012, so it's been 12 years. Certain, did the LGS say how well AC is selling? They've sold a few boxes. It has not sold a ton of boxes. Habanero, how has travel through Skyrim been treating you? So far, so good, buddy. So far, so good. Jess, if I wrote a book, you'd buy it as a collector's item. It could just be filled with you could just write dick in it over and over, and that's funny. I'll get it anyways. That's a funny idea. What up, Heavy Metal? How you doing, buddy? How's life treating you? Yeah, I wonder how long it'll take, like, just drinking water before it becomes the norm and I stop thinking about those other beverages. The brain craves that sugary goodness, right? I mean, I can get sugar from other things, though. Yo, I watched the, what was it called again? The Northman last night. Crazy, like, Viking action movie. It was pretty solid. We did a good job of listing a whole bunch of action movies, and I made a huge list of it, and I've been going through a bunch of them. Now, I want to, start making a list of thriller movies. So if you guys know good thriller movies, let me know. Amoeba wasting time super chat says, much love. Glad you're here making it possible for us to be here. Well, thanks for the positivity, buddy. I am very lucky that I get to do this, spending my time live streaming and making videos. I'm having a great time. I've actually was feeling more energetic and enthused about it today specifically. I know yesterday was a day where I was struggling, and we had a good stream nonetheless that helped pick up my spirits. But today, I ain't feeling low or any of that, right? So I'm happy we're here. I'm happy we're having a fucking good time. I love that all the different random things that I do, people are enjoying. The 4th edition pack opening that I put out over on the Hatcher channel already has a few thousand people who've watched it and have been enjoying it, so that's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Amiibo, put your name on the board. Oh, yeah, you know what? You did Prices Right it. You did Prices Right it. I didn't see the 1 cent. So you're right. The board is yours. TC's Magic Box getting evicted. Amiibo taking that board. That's funny. Put me up there, damn it. I know how this works. I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't mention it, honestly. I guess I'd be wasting your time, huh? Seven is a good movie. Yep, I've seen Seven. That one's pretty wild. Dominic Super Chat says, I heard the alternate art for Thanos is going to be your favorite character loot wearing the gauntlet. Yo, Dominic, you can eat the entirety of my ass, bro. All of it. All my fat ass meat in your worthless mouth. How about that? I hope that your store fucking burns to the ground, bro. Law-abiding citizen was awesome. Nothing. Do you have brain damage? Because I've seen Law-Abiding Citizen. And the first half of the movie is actually pretty solid. But then it gets really, really dumb. Like, that movie gets really stupid to the point where Law-Abiding that's what I call... I use it as a term. That's what that recent movie Arcadium did, right? Where it was just like Arcadian. I was like, yo, this movie Law-Abiding Citizen to me. Where the first half is solid, and then it turns into stupid, idiotic nonsense. Where, Jamie Foxx is all about the law and is a law-abiding lawyer, and now he's totally fine with blowing up the prison. Or whatever, or like doing stupid leaps and whatever it was. I don't even remember the specifics of it anymore, honestly. It was so dumb that my brain dumped it. But for real, that movie fucking sucks out loud, bro. It sucks Monday to Saturday and then takes a day off to go and crap in the woods. Habanero, you know, it might sound obvious, but the secret to drinking water is to pay attention to when you're thirsty. When you drink a non-water beverage, think about how fast you drink it. I know that I just want the taste. I know that I just want the sugar, bro, 100%. I know that it's just a craving. Water, you're right. You only have it when you're thirsty, 100%. 100%. Jess, if you had the rights to my likeness, you'd make the book. Rat-a-tat-tat question. Once we've clicked on your Amazon link, we can just search for anything, add it to the cart, and buy later? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I know that once you click on the link, anything you go and add to your cart counts towards like my affiliate stuff, but I don't know if you have to buy it within a certain time frame. I literally have no idea. So I don't know, man. All I can say is bookmark the link and then just use Amazon like you would normally or whatever, and you can just assume that I'm getting it, and I'll assume I am too. I don't want helping me to be a hassle that you got to worry about, but I appreciate the consideration of you taking the time to ask, man. We're talking about how scary Secret of Nim was to us as kids. I can't say I've even seen it. Did I watch the Acolyte show? No, I'm not really into Star Wars. So I've heard some terrible things about it in passing, but Dasa, The Platform is a good thriller. Is that the one where the food goes down every layer? Boop, 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 boop. Is that one? Because I remember that. Fallen is a sweet thriller. Indeed. I've seen that one. I've seen that one. Thompson, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Some have I watched Battle Los Angeles? Not yet, but it's already on my list. Millmaster, Fire and Ice a movie? Is that what you're saying? Thompson, how's my weekend going? So far, so good. John, since Assassin's Creed made historical figures, do I think Magic will make other real-life history figures into cards? Absolutely, if another property calls for it. I don't think they'll do it without it being tied into some other universe beyond, because I don't think it would do that well. I don't think people would be interested in a historical figures Magic set or universe beyond. I think it has to be a part of something else people are interested in. Amiibo orange jello counts as clear fluid to doctors. Consider sugar-free popsicles as water. I'm not looking for workarounds. I'm not looking for cheats. None of it. I'm just going to drink water, plain and simple. That's the plan. I gave myself the goal of a solid month of just drinking water, and that's how I'm going to roll. That's how I'm going to roll. Caustic, you have the Blu-ray of Wizards and we're shocked how much it's going for. People are rejecting digital and going back to media in hand. Are they rejecting digital, or is it just that people will pay for very particular collector's items? Because I don't think people are rejecting digital, bro. I really don't. I do not. Alice in Borderland was good. Seen it. Seen it, Heavy Metal. John, you would buy a Napoleonic War set? Well, you are in the minority there, buddy. Like, how many hundreds of years old do you have to be interested in Napoleon and wars in that era, right? Like, that's not going to be pulling them in. That's not going to be pulling them in. I don't see it happening. But then I also have absolutely no interest in any, like, old war stuff myself. So perhaps I'm wrong and there would be more interest than expected, but I'm highly skeptical of that. I'm very highly skeptical of that. The Civilization game crowd is small. I remember playing Civ. They did Portal 3 Kingdoms. Hello? How long ago was that? Why would you think that something they did 20 years ago has any bearing on now? For real. To figure out what they're going to do now, you need to look at what they're doing now. And what they want is hot properties, not fucking senile granddads. I've got a purple Medal of Honor. Like, you know, it's forget it. Forget it. Certain as online libraries of movies close down, costing you all the movies you pay for, you can see folks wanting offline. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. I see things moving towards like more of a universal media kind of thing where you can own a digital copy of a movie and then sell or trade it to people as if you actually own it. I see it going to digital ownership as opposed to physical, like, reversion. Especially since when it comes to discs, they degrade. They're not permanent, right? Your discs have what, a 10, 15 year shelf life? Something like that? Something like that? I don't know what the shelf life is on a You know what? I'm curious about that, actually. How long do VHS tapes last? VHS tape life expectancy varies. Deterioration of 10 to 20% occurs over a period of 10 to 25 years. Better quality tapes have a slightly longer lifespan. Okay, and how long do DVDs last? DVD, BBD, 10 to 20 years. So, oh, this is like straight up from the Canadian Government Conservation Institute. Huh, interesting. I mean, apparently if you take the time to do proper storage, then they can have a longer lifespan, but why not Star Wars? Oh, it's coming probably. I would not be like Wizards has an in now with Disney with the Marvel stuff. So what's to stop them from doing Star Wars, you know? Digital ownership like NFTs. Well, actually, the term NFT obviously has been heavily tainted, but something along those lines, yes, that is actually like NFTs are a scam. But if they could actually be used to give you digital ownership of something that you could actually use, right? That changes them fundamentally. They're currently a scam. But yeah, it would be something along those lines. Did I ever see The Last Unicorn or Black Cauldron? I've seen The Last Unicorn. I don't know if I've seen Black Cauldron. Ashmead, you didn't get the notification today? I've shared it in the Discord. That's all I can do, big boy. That's all I can do. Didn't they just put out a new Star Wars TCG? Yeah, there is a new Star Wars TCG, and apparently it is not selling well, at least at the game store I go to. And that is down to the first of all, the packs are insanely expensive. It's crazy. It's crazy. And secondly, apparently they had like severe supply issues with their first set being really hard to get. And you need people to be early adopters, pick it up and keep the game going. So apparently they lost their momentum. Because I remember a bunch of people asking for it when it first came out. And this new stuff is just sitting there without much interest. NFTs are like serialized arena cards. Yeah. Yep, you're not far off, man. Some I might like Flight of Dragons. Have I seen that? I don't know. John, yeah, Dragon Age would fit pretty decently with Magic, but it is pretty old. It is pretty old. Flight of the Dragons is Rankin and Bass? Maybe I haven't seen it. Maybe I haven't seen it. I'm going to look it up. No, I definitely haven't seen this. I'm going to note that one down. I got my book that I keep all my movies listed in here. And of course the pen's going to act up. Come on now. Rob, what's up, buddy? When my lore videos stop, you're legitimately sad. Keep up the good work. Thanks for what I'm doing. No problem. Glad you enjoy them. The next one should be coming out on Monday. That's when we'll be finishing up the Bloomborough story, which is wild to me because it doesn't feel like we're at the wrap it up stage, but apparently only 5 installments. So that's how that'll go. Yeah, Magoro, bro, there's been a ton of different Star Wars card games as far as I remember. So they're just going to keep like... That's actually what the game store owner was saying. He was like, yo, it's pretty whack that Fantasy Flight screwed up this Star Wars game when this is the third one they've done already, right? Amiibo, you lost a ton of quarters to Dragon's Lair. That game was brutal. That game was brutal. Brutal. Oh, man. Finally got a good story going and they cut it short. Well, I suppose if we want to look at it from a positive perspective, if they made it longer, maybe it would be the same story beats, but way more filler, right? Certain, you heard the new buy a box promo will be a collector booster. They've only done that like once with, what was it, Throne of Eldraine? Something like that? Caustic, you liked the sit-down Space Harrier. Oh, like an arcade game? Millmaster, I have not read Elric yet, but it is something that I have written down to check out at some point. Have you seen the movie Beowulf? It's an animated movie? I don't think so. I might have seen the non-animated version of it. Because there's multiple Beowulf movies, apparently. Jess, what? I should make what? A crypto coin? Oh no, never mind. You mean an actual silver coin? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. If the Star Wars TCG doesn't work out, they can always add the characters to Lorcana. It's probably just a matter of time before that stuff ends up in Lorcana, right? Once they've gone far enough down the regular Disney character line, it could happen. Rob, been enjoying the storytelling. Agree, this is probably the first set you've been excited for in a while. It should be good times. I'm looking forward to Bloomborough, 100%. Some says if you liked Adventures of Baron Munchausen, you might like Tarsum Sings The Fall. All right, what's that? Oh, is it a TV show? I'm looking for like movie suggestions. Oh wait, is this it? In 1920s Los Angeles, a bedridden patient in a hospital captivates a young girl with a fantastic tale of heroes, myths, and villains on a desert island. That sounds cool. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll write that one down, bro. I'll write that one down. Amiibo, I should do some D&D live gaming. It's been like forever. It's been forever since I played D&D. Like a million years. Caustic. Oh, look, he's excited. He's excited for the fall. John also likes it. All right. All right. It's on the list. It's on the list, some. Check how much the Blu-ray of the fall is going for. Nah, it's okay. I don't feel like Googling Blu-ray prices. Is there any rough release date info on the Marvel set? Marvel stuff comes out in 2025, so that's next year. That's next year. I don't recall if they actually specified in which quarter, but I think it's probably the first half of 2025. That's my guess. It's difficult to keep up with everything when it comes to keeping it all straight in my head. So The Umbrella Academy, best series ever. Did we watch like one episode of that and Carly wasn't feeling it? I've read the comics. Did we watch the show? I can't remember. I can't remember if we did or not, honestly. That's not a good sign. Toby, who likes the bullshit Universe Beyond crossovers? A ton of people. A ton of Wizards customers. You know how you know? because they're literally giving over a full third of their production schedule to it. And Wizards loves money. So you'll know when people don't like something, because Wizards stops making it, right? So the writing's on the wall. Universe Beyond ain't going anywhere. It's selling for them. Absolutely. Look at do you know what the best-selling secret layers have been recently? Hatsune Miku. That ain't in Magic. That ain't in Magic. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. 1/3 of your plate is going to be Brussels sprouts from now on. You got to decide whether you want to keep eating at the restaurant. That's how it goes. But turns out a lot of people want them Brussels sprouts. So over time, it's probably going to turn to 50% Brussels sprouts, 75% Brussels sprouts. Like it costs, like you have to understand, Universe Beyond costs Wizards more to make. It costs more to make Universe Beyond stuff because they have to pay for licenses. In World stuff, their own stuff, costs them less. If they're giving over a third of their production schedule to it, that's because even with the licensing costs, it is very profitable for them. That's the reality. That's the reality. So Universe Beyond is the new way going forwards. You think it'll die out within 5 years? I got really bad news for you, Toby. I wish you were right. I love normal Magic, swords and sorcery Magic, but we're only going to get that here or there. That's it. That's it. Their own unique sets are going to be stuff like interplanar death races with monster trucks and cowboy pew 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 and stuff like that. So like the old days of Magic are fucking dead and gone. You got to decide, like when they say the whole this product ain't for you, that applies more than ever before. You got to decide what you want to be a part of. You got to decide what you want to be a part of. Nah, Toby, you're absolutely wrong. It doesn't cost them more to come up with their own story and flavor because they just have to pay the internal employees they already have. You're absolutely incorrect. It costs them more money to make Universe Beyond because they still have to pay all the same people who work for them, and they have to give a big chunk of money to the people who own the actual IP they're using. So no. They've come out and talked about that specifically. Wizards of the Coast is on the record specifically saying that there are much higher fees associated with the licensing of other properties. This is not a speculation. This is fucking fact. And yet they're still chasing after it, which means they're making bank off it. That ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Anytime soon. Jess, what does it cost to make a pack of 15 cards? 10 cents a card? No, I have an inside source at Magic who used to work for Wizards who told me that at the time they worked there, booster packs cost like about 17 cents to produce. Accounting for inflation, booster packs now cost about $0.25 to produce, right? That doesn't cover the actual cost. That's the production cost. So they still have to pay artists to do the art and stuff. But the actual physical production of a booster costs them 25 cents to make a collector booster that they then turn around and go, this is a $30 booster pack. It's insane. It's insane. John, you're trying not to be a crotchety old grognard. Whatever, man. It's fine to like what you like. It's fine to like old stuff, bro. 100%. Toby, you won't even buy anything after 2018? Well, that makes things even worse if you look at it, right? If you look at it like, yo, I'm not giving them my money anymore. So the people who wanted the swords and sorcery stuff have stopped giving them their money. And the people who want Universe Beyond are giving them money. So that just compounds the effect, right? I'm not saying you should be buying the stuff you don't want at all. At all. Don't spend money on Magic if it ain't worth it to you. But the sad reality is that Wizards only cares what the numbers say, and they're going where the money is. Amiibo! Amiibo's super chat says, I'm just beating my last price. I won. Lording the board yourself just to show off. All right, then. Well, that is very easy to update. Thanks for the super chat, big boy. Woo. Amiibo, you were a consultant for Bose speakers. The headphones cost about $12.50 each. The cost to invent them is multi-million. Yep. Yep. That's true. The money invested in development and things like that, it does not equal like the raw production costs at all. Shane, you bought a ton of Lord of the Rings and Godzilla, didn't touch Doctor Who or Fallout, buy what you like, forget the rest. That's it. That's the new world of Magic, bro. 100%. 100%. First rule, if Wizards could put out an animated Magic series or a movie, complete the next Netflix project and it do well, you bet billions would swarm to the Jace universe. I don't think that it would move the needle as much as people expect it would. And I don't think that Wizards could actually make a good Magic movie. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. They made that D&D movie, which was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. And they like lost money on it. Like the only movies that Hasbro, I should say, has been able to produce that are moneymakers were the Transformers movies. That's it. Larry, you might quit Magic the Gathering next year after Marvel because Magic's getting expensive and it's getting in the way of your dream of owning a house. Well, focus on what matters most, buddy. Get you that house. Get you that house. Magic cards, you can already play with what you have. There's tons of games to enjoy in the world, right? Somehow the Phyrexians returned. That is what the current era of Magic storytelling has devolved to in a lot of ways. Bloomborough is a refreshing change of pace, as in the story is actually enjoyable and isn't random nonsense. The only contrived part of it so far that I've seen is the Ral's like so angry at Jace like they were good friends and he's been betrayed just so they could get Ral as an otter on Bloomborough. So that part does feel contrived. They used Soundwave engineers to create a chair for a truck that doesn't move, regardless of what the truck does, but it didn't work because drivers need the feedback of the seat. Well, that makes sense. It's feeding you information while you drive, right? Toby, bro, I feel you. I miss the old school Magic too. I wouldn't hold your hopes out for any upcoming Lorwyn action because remember what they did to Kamigawa? The second Kamigawa had really nothing to do with the initial Kamigawa. So if we go back to Lorwyn, like they wanted to do a cyberpunk set to coincide with cyberpunk coming out. And I very much expected that they wanted to do secret layers of Cyberpunk 2077, but they couldn't negotiate the licenses or it fell through. Same kind of thing that happened with Harry Potter and Strixhaven. It blows my mind that there are people who are like, Strixhaven was never meant to be like Harry Potter. And it's like, are you on crack? Or are you just a fucking moron? Like, of course it was. Of course it was. So Kamigawa was just them going, we want to do a cyberpunk set, but we're afraid of giving it a brand new name. So why don't we just take Kamigawa's skin and shove it on cyberpunk, right? So Lorwyn will probably be the same kind of thing. Was Kamigawa the beginning of the end when they had DJs as characters on the cards? I don't know exactly where I would pinpoint the beginning of the end, honestly, but things have definitely changed so much. So much over the last few years especially. There has been a seismic shift in Magic. Red Dress, you have no faith in Lorwyn after Kamigawa? Lauren's your favorite plane too? That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Fiery, you're glad for your hyper fixation. You love Fire and Lorwyn. That's why you're going to build an Ashling deck and nothing else. Well, it's straightforward and easy, right? Felonious Tea, exactly. Just a skin suit. Just like everything we once loved. What do I think Lauren will be stretched over to cover up? I don't know. Because I don't know what Wizards is looking at right now. I don't know what they want to basically steal the hype of, right? Sam, you think it's weird there are next to no enchantments in Strixhaven? Yeah, you know what? Considering it's a mage school, that is weird. But I guess maybe were there other enchantment focused themes around the time of that set? I know Wilds of Eldraine had an enchantment theme. Dreading the worst and hoping for the best for Laurel. That's all you can do. That's all you can do, right? But yeah, I literally have no concept where they're going to go with it next. Because Universe Beyond stuff is here to stay. Who's the big bad in Magic right now? Right now we're like moving into Bloomborough, where there are calamity beasts that threaten the regular beasts, but there isn't some big mega evil that needs to be thwarted on the level of the Phyrexians or Bolas. None of it. None of it. And I don't know if Wizards has the creative capacity now to create a new big enemy. See, Rosewater has no power at Wizards of the Coast. This is what people don't seem to understand. Because he's like a face of Magic, people think that Rosewater is making all kinds of decisions. He's not. He's not. Rosewater doesn't get to decide what sets they do. He doesn't get to decide what themes they do. He doesn't get to decide shit. He gets to do what he's fucking told to keep his job. And that's it. And that's it. So he has zero control. Like, he literally wanted an unset so bad that he worked on it in his free time for free for Wizards. And even then, they're never going to do another unset. Unsets are gone. Silver Bordered's gone. Like, is done. And Rosewater would never allow that if he had a modicum of power. That man has no power at Wizards of the Coast. None. None. It's all based off of money and market research. They dictate, and then Rosewater goes, how high am I supposed to jump? Like, that's it. That's it. That's the deal. Fiery, no, Jason Vraska don't want to destroy and recreate the universe. Don't pay any attention to story nonsense from Thunder Junction. That's not going to come up or be anything. There's not going to be a grand recreation. They just had some artwork they wanted to use. Nothing is going to come of that. There's not some epic, wow, we reset the whole universe. None of it. It's empty garbage. They just wanted to make a stupid Pokemon plushie they could sell you and just, okay, on to whatever. There's no follow through. There's no connection between anything. They just staple crap together. Oh, we're going to Thunder Junction. And it's like, oh, didn't you have Ashiok who took Ariette to go be a queen somewhere else? No! I mean, that's what it says in the story if you go and read it on our website. But just look at this article that says Ashiok said, Ariette, you got to help me with Robin on Thunder Junction. Right? And so then it's like, oh, it's actually Jace. But like, Jace pretending to be Ashiok was from the Phyrexian storyline. He was pretending to be Ashiok to terrorize Elish Norn with nightmares of Elspeth. That is absolutely what it was. But they just shoved it into Thunder Junction because they had the artwork. And then they were like, we want Ral Zarek to be on Bloomborough. And so then they stapled that onto the Jace shit they stapled onto Thunder Junction. Like, there is no follow through. None of this matters. Expecting that you're going to get to see anything come of this in the future is madness. Because you won't. Because you won't. Brent, the higher-ups don't actually have to even hear Rosewater out at all. And like the way that Rosewater talks about the game has fundamentally shifted. In the last year or two, he started to talk in ways you'd never hear him talk before, justifying the price of products by going, well, your expected dollar value, like your expected rare to dollar value has remained the same. Like he's using full-on finance language now. It's not even about game design. It's like, it's wild. He's saying stuff I never thought I would see him say. At one point, I felt like Rosewater was like for the players and was just dealing with corporate. But I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel that anymore. Loot, yeah, exactly. He's the key to everything it says on the card, but he's not. He's not. Right? We got one vague reference to him in the Bloomborough story, and I do not expect there to be any more references at all in the remainder of the story. That's it. That's it. Like the loot thing was probably some other storyline they were planning on doing that completely got scrapped. But they had the artwork of Loot and Vraska and Jace, and they're like, we're using the artwork. We don't care how incoherent the story is. You have to use the artwork and staple it all together. And that's how you end up with the nonsense you have now. Where they basically, here's how I see it. The Modern Horizon set, those kind of sets, showed the higher ups that they can make sets using slush art, right? Because Wizards of the Coast over the years has commissioned a ton of artwork. And back in the day, what they used to do was go, oh no, this artwork that we got here, we can't use it anymore. Either because the card we commissioned it for is not actually going to be in the set, or because it doesn't actually fit the tone of the world that we're going for. So this artwork has to be shelved for now. So what they used to do is go, okay, we're making a new set, go through all that shelved slush art that we have, and find art that can maybe be slightly modified, but ultimately really does feel like it fits in the set, and we can use that. But for sets like Modern Horizons, these sets don't have a story, and they're not placed in any particular chronological order for Magic. So you can basically have anyone from anywhere, anything you want, which means every single card in the set can be slush art. And you can just go, boom, here you go. Just make cards that kind of make sense with the artwork or not, whatever. Just use it. Who cares? And so when you look at that, it makes those sets feel like, yo, we just used assets we already had and paid for, and we didn't have to pay for a bunch of art this set, so our profit margins are even higher. So they looked at what was going on with Modern Horizon sets like that and said, you have to use more slush art in regular sets. I also strongly believe this is because Wizards behind the scenes is ramping up to eventually switch over to AI artwork, right? They'll just have some in-house names that they can put on it. Oh, he did one brushstroke on this, so it's actually done by Glamplorp. We own it. You know what I mean? So they want to basically blow out the vents and get rid of all the slush art they have kicking around. Hence, a bazillion pieces of Capenna police art used as detectives in the Markov Manor set, right? Like, it's that kind of stuff. What up, DJ Longhair? How you doing? Key to at the moment, whatever. Yeah, that's more like it than the key to everything. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but Micah, that's why we have crazy ass Eldrazi now. Oh yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised at all if a bunch of the artwork that we've seen in the Eldrazi stuff for Modern Horizons is absolutely artwork they just already had kicking around. Although you can also argue that that stuff would have actually maybe been new too, because Eldrazi are big sellers. So if they did have let's say they specifically knew they wanted to target an Eldrazi deck as a concept, but didn't have enough Eldrazi, then they could do it that way, and just be like, we'll make some new ones because it's going to sell. It's going to sell. But I do feel like they're clearing out their art vaults. But we'll see how that turns out. We'll see how that turns out. I don't know what the future holds for Magic, but I know that it's going to be crazy. Do I see a world where paper Magic is gone and it's all digital? No. Wizards makes way too much money selling paper stuff, and digital doesn't make them nearly as much cash. Like, there are some people who are willing to spend money on stuff like Arena. They do have some whales, but their original plan was for Arena to be way bigger than it is, and that fell through because Wizards is arrogant And the whole like they have this like preeminent position in the card game world where Magic the Gathering is a big deal. But in the digital world, they're just competing with everything else. And people are like, Arena, I'm just gonna go watch people play Marvel Snap or something. Like Arena's gotta compete with Hearthstone, all this other stuff. Wizards goes just digital, they lose all their prestige and they become just another video game. And they don't have what it takes to compete in the world of video games. Honestly, they don't. So I don't see it ever happening. Like, unless Magic somehow already died out in paper just because new generations coming up don't want to futz about with a bunch of cardboard rectangles, right? This is unwieldy to them. They're like, I got to do what? I got to get 60 of these, put them in a pile and shuffle? No, bro, I just want to pick up my phone and go like, like that's the reality. Actually, this could do with some charging. Jess, you can't do Arena. It feels like playing bots. You need the human interaction. Yep, there's that as well. It does feel like playing bots on Arena. I never feel, even though I technically know I'm playing against another person, I don't feel like I'm playing against another person. I feel like the name up at the top is just the name of the current AI that's playing on Wizard's side. And I know it's a person because I yell sometimes, hurry up, asshole! Like, I have no patience for people on Arena. If I'm playing paper Magic, people can take their time looking at their cards. Sorry, I'm like, it's all good, man. Just read your cards. We're here to have a good time. And I'll just look at my cards, look at the artwork, think about different stuff. With Arena, after about 2 seconds, I'm like, today, dickhead! I'm fucking dying in real time. Play your cards, you fucking idiot. Right? Like, for real. I'm just like, bro, you just looked at your hand for like however long, played a card, and now you're sitting here forever staring at your other cards? You just read them, cocksmoker! Just fucking play something, you stupid dickhead! Like, that's how it feels with Arena. But I only get that way with people in physical Magic when they're taking forever and I know they know what's up. Like when I'm playing Cube with my buddy, at a certain point I'd be like, I got a bus to catch soon. Hurry the fuck up, bro. You're taking too long. You're taking too long. Like, for real, for real. I know you know how to play. We've been playing Magic together for decades. So step it the fuck up, right? But I won't do that to, like, anybody else. You know what I mean? It's a different experience. Otto, I just described your Arena experience. Yup. Ashmead, you think that was me you were playing against? Well, fuck you, dude. Play faster. I'd have road rage if I drove. I don't know if I would have road rage, but I guarantee you I would be swearing all the time going, this fucking idiot, man. How the hell did you get your driver's license? Suck the tester's dick or something, man? You slip him $1,000, you fucking clownish goon? You're probably going to get in a car crash, so get the fuck away from me. But, like, I would never be one who's just, like, actually, and, like fucking smashing on people's windows and stuff. Shit talking, yeah, absolutely. Yep, Amiibo, that is correct. When you're on Arena, much like most things on the internet, people act like they're in their own little insular thing, like being in a car. 100%. And in person, they don't act like that. Most of the people who act like maniacs on the internet aren't maniacs in everyday life. You know that because there's not maniacs everywhere in everyday life, but there are maniacs everywhere on the internet. People are very comfortable just flaring the hell out on the internet. Like, people do it to me all the time. The ignorant shit that people say to me because they're in the comfort of their fucking own home or whatever, it's wild. Almost none of them would say that in real life. And if they did, I would tell them roundly to pound all the sand on earth up their ass. They can go fuck themselves, right? It's wild to me how crazy people can act when they're online. And it's not who they innately are because they're not wandering around that way. They've been socialized. They know how to act out in society. But people will be complete fucking dickbags complete fucking dickbags in the comments. And it's like, yo, go fuck yourself, moron, right? I don't bother saying that to them anymore because it's a waste of my time. It's not going to get me anywhere. I don't get anything from it. And the people who are acting like that aren't going to reflect on it and go, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I acted like that. They're just going to go, no, fuck you. You're wrong for being upset about me being a complete asshole. No, fuck you, idiot. Your mother should have never had you, you fucking magoo. Rowan, you think a person's true colors are revealed under the veil of being anonymous? I don't, actually. I don't. I think there's like somebody being a dickhead on the internet, in comments or whatever, doesn't actually make them a shitty person. So I don't think that it reveals their true colors per se. I think that's too reductive. I think it's like, how would I put it? It's almost like it's become expected, and it's like it's permissible, so people indulge themselves, not because it's their innate nature, but just because it's an easy way to vent your frustrations. Like, your fucking wife has been awful to you that day, or your mom got hit by a bus or whatever, and you need something to blow that steam out the vents, and this is where you can do it. That's it. It's like my city had these big cement circles, okay? They're meant for trees. They're meant for trees to be planted in them. And they had trees in most of them. But they had a couple that they put out that didn't get trees in them right away. And people started throwing trash in there. Someone came along and threw their trash in there. And then other people saw trash in there and went, oh, there's a place I can throw my trash. And it just goes from there. The same way that if people go to a neighborhood where all like the windows, like there's broken windows and stuff, they feel like they can vandalize that neighborhood like it's acceptable. But that doesn't make that person some awful vandal who goes around acting like that all the time. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but humans are very odd. And most people aren't actually complete pieces of shit. They're just being a piece of shit in that moment, and you don't know why. They could have farted too hard and torn their asshole, and they're just feeling stressed out about something. People lash out at me every day, like every day. And at first I took it personally, which is honestly, at the end of the day, that's egocentric, because almost none of it is about me. It's about that person in that moment. And so I just go, whatever, man, whatever. People treat this shit like it's a bathroom stall wall. Just whatever, you know? Ashmead, you're right. The online world is always on, always kicking, so it's a constant flow, 100%. Melma says, I'm angry, armed, and mentally ill. I love being in public. It turns adults into kids. Yeah, in some ways it does. In some ways it does. Ashmead, the internet as a social unrest pressure valve? Fiery, yep. You never know what people are going through. That's part of the reason that I don't take it personally like I used to at first. When people get uppity with me, most of the time I'm like, this probably doesn't even have anything to do with me. So whatever. That's fine. You want to get pissy about something? You know, oh, this historian doesn't know this about magic, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, cockbag. You just want to be a pissy bitch, all right? So continue to be alone, or whatever it is, you stubbed your toe. Like, go fuck yourself, son, right? Like, it's just whatever, man. Whatever. YouTube's got an easy fix for it. If people are jerk-offs, I can just mute them. They still get to watch the videos. They still get to do what they want. They even get to say what they want. I just don't have to waste my time with my eyeballs seeing it. It's that simple. It's that simple. John, you think that it's a really kind view to say most people aren't pieces of shit? Well, the thing is, if everybody was a piece of shit, how does the world function the way it does? Think about like how nice we all have to be. Like you can say like, "Oh, well if I go and rob my neighbors or whatever, I'll go to jail." But if everybody was garbage, we wouldn't have the setup that we have at all. The world literally wouldn't be able to function, right? You go out about your day knowing people aren't just going to like attack you randomly for no reason, just trying to claw your eyes out, not even trying to get something from you, not the standard, oh, they just want to rob you, just attacking you to attack you. Like people always help other people. If somebody falls in the street, somebody's going to stop and help. Other people will stop and see what's going on. We fundamentally care about each other. Humanity is a species that can crave vengeance for a third party. We can see somebody else being wrong that's not us and want that to be rectified. A bunch of species on this planet ain't like that. Humans care about other humans on the whole. And I genuinely believe that most people, the needle moves towards good. Everybody's got good and bad in them. It goes on different scales. And when it comes to like sociopaths and psychopaths and mentally broken people, this is obviously not going to apply. But I genuinely believe the majority of people are good folk. And I don't think all the comments are being left by like just the maniacs and pieces of shit in society. I don't. I think that they're being left by people who are probably fine people I could get along with, who are just being obnoxious douchebags in the moment. And that's it. That's it. Amiibo, yep. Yep, you're pissed about whatever happened to you today, so you feel like you can hurt somebody else. They did studies where like there were like rats in a cage and they would like shock a bigger rat who would then turn around and attack a smaller rat, right? I got hurt, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then they gave the bigger rat an ability to turn what was hurting it off, and the bigger rat chose instead to attack the other rat. So it's like an animal kind of thing, man. It's that's how people get it out of their system. It's not cool. It's not cool. Caustic, you're gonna record this rant to fall asleep to later. Well, there's the live stream archive, right? You don't even have to record yourself. Amiibo, you don't want laws to crumble because people fuck you up when you be the butt boy in the front of the truck. The thing is, like, if the government abdicated responsibility for managing society, we would come together as a group and manage society. It's that simple. It's that simple. Like, we're not going to go back to fucking tribal warlords ruling the wastelands. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? So people want safety and stability because that is what helps you live a prosperous life. That's what helps you ensure your genetics continue on into the future through your extra generations, right? You want a safe, stable society for your children so that your genes go on. We are naturally inclined towards this kind of social setup. So I don't ever see the world devolving into madness that way because the absolute pieces of garbage would have the good folk gang up and fuck them up. Because good folk don't want to fuck people up, but they'll do what they have to. Do you know what I mean? That's like me. Like me. I would never want to hurt somebody at all. But if there was no proper government taking care of things, and there was somebody who was a real piece of garbage who was hurting people, making life awful for them, robbing from them, ending their lives or whatever, yeah, it'd be like, okay, we need to find some people, and we're going to go fucking solve this problem. It's going to be solved. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. Maybe I'm naive because everybody thinks that everybody else is like them on some level. We all just operate from the other people are like me. But for real, like think about all the people who want to be like firefighters, for example. These are people who just want to help society. They just want to do good by people, right? People care about other people genuinely. It's not all just about what can I get from you, right? People want other people to live and be happy. It's nice to see other people happy, right? It's nice to see a couple walking together and you can see that they're in love. That's amazing. It's nice to see a mother with her little baby kissing it on the forehead and you can see how much she loves that little child. Like that's gratifying. We vibe on that. For real. For real. Ashmead, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Like, they taught chimps the concept of money, and then the lady chimps started selling themselves. It's a viable strategy. Clark, the tough guys aren't the loners living in the mountains. It's the guys living on the good farmland that banded together for common good. That's what'll happen. Like, that's what would happen, right? That's the reality. What up, Shelly? You're hanging out and scrubbing the floor like Cinderella, except there's more rats and you're fatter. Ashmead became a Marine because he wants to protect others. Everybody, well, this isn't generalized, but most people like other people and want to help them in some form or another, unless they've been traumatized by people, because that can definitely happen. Like, why do you think I like making people laugh? I know it makes their day better. I know how much little things like that matter. That's why it's of value to me. Shot, you beat Chandelar? Nice, buddy. On easy? Oh, I can't play it on anything but the hardest difficulty. I've played it so much that I couldn't play on that like low, weak ass level. But congratulations, buddy. You did it. You did it. Oh, man. So yeah, overall, I like people. And I give a shit. I want people to be okay. I want everybody to be all right. I want life to be good. I want life to be good. That's what I want. So, whatevs. I just wave away the people who find what I do and start fucking hating me. I just fucking ignore them. The people who used to like what I do and hate me now, I don't like that as much. But I wave that away. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? They decided they don't like me and what I do anymore? That's fine. I'm more interested in focusing my time on the people who are enjoying what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. I could go and get in fights with people who are being jerks, try to explain to them where they're wrong, all this kind of stuff, but whatever. Who cares? Who cares? If somebody wants to dislike me for whatever, or they want to come along and call me a fucking e-bagger, whatever it is, fine. That's fine. You can think whatever you want, man. You can think whatever you want. People hook me up because they value what I do. But you're free to look at it however you want to. What the fuck ever. It doesn't affect my life at the end of the day. I used to get bent out of shape about comments, but it's been so many fucking years. It's been so many years that I've reached the point where I don't even talk about them to people anymore. I used to like mention to people, this ridiculous comment I got left. Every once in a while I'll mention them to you guys because we're here on YouTube, but like I'm so over it. Now I just pay attention to the comments that make me happy, that make me feel good. Somebody left a comment on yesterday's live stream saying, yo, I was just about to have some pop listening to your live stream and you were talking about drinking water and you made some good points and you know what, you made me decide I'm actually gonna have water now instead of pop. And I looked at that and was like, yo, that's sweet. That's sweet. I helped somebody make a slightly better choice just with that conversation. That's dope. Ronan, as your dad used to say, arguing with a fool only proves that there are two. There's no point in arguing with idiots. And I mean, the most clear evidence that I've ever had of that kind of stuff was when I had just started out and I did a video talking about a scam. And this guy left a comment that made it sound like, he said basically I was an idiot for making the video. And I read his comment and was like, yo, it feels to me like you want people to get scammed. This video is me explaining the scam and how people can avoid it. and it feels like you actively think people should be scammed. I don't understand your position. Could you explain it? And I said that very politely to somebody who was being rude to me. And he was like, you're an asshole. And any other YouTuber would have just ignored me. And it was just very jarring to be like, you left a comment on my video. And I came to you to ask you to clarify your position. And you treat me like I'm a stupid dickhead because I read and responded to your comment? Like, I could never have conceived of that. I could never have conceived of that. Before I started YouTube, for me, it was just like, I never left comments on videos. I didn't understand why anybody did. I understand now, and I'm glad people leave comments on my videos, but when I started, I just used YouTube to watch music videos. What am I going to fucking go down into the comments and be like, oh yeah, I love 2 steps forward, 1 step back with the cat. Like, do you know what I mean? I leave comments now, but I wouldn't leave them on a music video for an artist who's never going to see them. I leave comments on videos that the creators are going to see. I understand. I understand it now, but like for real, it blew my mind that that called me a dickhead for responding to his comment and trying to understand him. That's all I did. Amiibo says, I beat Amiibo wasting time. You did. You beat yourself twice on this stream now. You're going for laps here, buddy. You're going for laps. Thanks for the super chat. Caustic, obscure Paula Abdul reference. That's right. That's right. Toby, I've chilled out in general since I started, and you feel like I used to get way more heated in rant videos and streams. Yes, you're absolutely correct. That is down to multiple factors. One is, when I started, life was pretty much hellish. And I was, you know how people vent because they can? Like I was talking about people leaving comments and doing that. That was some of it. Other parts of it was, I had unrealistic expectations of the people who were watching my videos and live streams. I expected them to like care more about not being awful to me or whatever else. And I found like I treated online interactions as if they happened in person. And that was that level of affronted, essentially. So having a hard time in life. I'm always just kind of a fucking dick anyways. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a part of who I am, right? Like, not like a hardcore dick, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's fun with the sense of humor, but it's just a part of who I am. The whole smack talking and stuff. But yeah, I used to get genuinely angry. And like, yeah, I used to get genuinely pissed and like fucking rant hardcore. And now, like, why would I? Like, either the person's trying to be a fucking complete asshole, like for whatever reason, whatever it is. It could be like, if they're just doing it to try and get a reaction from me, I tend to just ignore that they exist because it's like, whatever, I don't fucking care. Like, I've heard it all. I've literally seen threads dedicated to hating on me and started giggling at reading fucking 200 different reasons people hate me. Because on one level, I'm like, wow, so many people know who I am. Look at all the different aspects of what I do and who I am that they hate. This is wild. But I also am like, these people don't fucking really know me, and none of this matters. So if they're having fun talking shit about me, go ahead. That's what I tell people. Like, sometimes my fans will find that stuff and they'll go in there and they'll fight and argue with people and get really worked up and stuff. And I realized a long time ago with my best friend that I don't want people doing that on my behalf. People talking shit about me elsewhere does not affect me. It doesn't make me feel bad. It doesn't cause me problems. When I started doing Keyforge content, it took like a day before hate threads about me started popping up on Reddit. It was wild. I was like, wow, these motherfuckers didn't waste any time. But they started posting fucking hate threads about me. And I basically was looking at this shit talking. And I like, they were just making up crazy shit about me. And somebody came along and was like, so do you guys have any proof for any of this? Or are we just making shit up? And people pointed at that guy and went, that's him. That's Hatcher. And I was like, that's not me. So I made an account And I logged in and I was like, yo, here I am, dick faces. You want to talk shit? Here I am. Fuck you, right? And like started talking shit with them. And then they were like, that's not him. They refused to believe it was me. And I'm just sitting there like, here I am, you fucking weak bitches. But you think that I'm this guy over here who's just asking for proof. And when I literally come in and say who I am, and fuck you, you weak little bitches, of course you're here talking about me. You're fucking pathetic, right? Like that's the shit I did. I had fun with it, man. Carly can hear me sometimes laughing at the shit talk that I see. Whoa, this guy seems really upset because I know I didn't do anything to them. So I shared that on my Facebook. And then I shared it so that my friends could have a laugh. But I go over to my best friend's house and I'm hanging out and I notice he's got a list beside his computer and I'm looking, I'm like, why do these names look familiar? And then it clicked. I'm like, these are the names from that one Reddit. That I turned to my buddy. I'm like, is this a list of dudes from that fucking Reddit thread where they were talking shit about me? And he's like, yeah, man, it made me really fucking mad. And I was just like, oh, I learned right then and there. I'm like, I have to stop showing my friends people shit talking me because they don't find it funny. They get mad. They're just like, this ain't okay. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It's empty. Like it doesn't mean anything. They can go ahead and fucking hate me. Whatever. I've literally never done anything to these people. They don't like me because I didn't talk right about a card game or something. Like for real, for real. Aside from the few that I may have been an actual dick to on live streams or whatever, I didn't do anything to any of these fucking people. So honestly, it's just a fucking ego stroke. I'm like, yeah, there's like 200 people in there talking shit about me. I got tens of thousands of fans. There's hundreds over here. I don't even know these motherfuckers, but they sure know who I am. And there's nothing they can do to make it stop. Right? Right? So it does not, I don't lay down and go, oh, I'm giving up because people are being mean. Fuck that. Fuck that. I ain't gonna stop because this is what I want to do. This is what I like doing. This is what I'm good at. Why would I stop? Because some random dickheads don't like it? I wouldn't stop fucking their mother just because they didn't like that either. I don't give a shit, son. My dick, I'm gonna do what I want with it, right? You can complain to your mama afterwards, but I trust you trust me, I should say. When I'm done, she's not gonna care what you have to say. She's gonna welcome me back. Caustic, I'm snarky. Jess, yeah, exactly. You know that it's fun roasting and shit, bro. Like, back in the day when I was angrier, sometimes I was a dick to people. I surely was. I accept that. Absolutely. I will never be perfect, right? So, whatever. All I can do is go, yo, this is how I acted. I don't want to act like that. I don't benefit from acting like that. I'm not gonna act like that. So the people that I've been a genuine dick to, you have to go back at least fucking 3 or 4 years now, probably, at like minimum, to find any of them. Because I'm not an asshole to anybody anymore, aside from in my friendly, roasting kind of way. I might upset somebody if they take it the wrong way and take me seriously and don't know that I'm just joking, which can theoretically happen if people are, let's say, for example, on the spectrum and have a harder time reading social cues and stuff like that. But overall, like in my current form, I don't do anything to anybody. So anybody who doesn't like me, they just need something to complain about. That's how I view it, because there's nothing I do on any level that can actually be like, oh, you impacted this guy's life negatively. It's like, what? I talk about games and shit. I talk smack in live streams, right? So people will inevitably get upset at me for different things. Like, I've had people blame me for relapses and stuff like that. Your joke made me relapse onto drugs. No, actually it didn't. You use that as an excuse, and now you get to get angry at me, because it's easier to be angry at me for you choosing to do drugs than it is to be angry at yourself, right? So you can do what you need to do, whatever, right? You just lost somebody in your family and you want to blame me that you're doing drugs. It's not my fault at all, but I know life can be hard. I'm not going to take it personally that you're doing this. So whatever, man. Whatever. You know, it's wild. It is wild, some of the things that people say to me, genuinely. It's pretty crazy. Some of the stuff I'll never talk to anybody about online, probably offline, maybe like decades from now, because there's been some wild shit that comes along with all this YouTube stuff. But ultimately, I enjoy getting to do all this. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Amiibo, yeah, call the emergency song line for Hall & Oates. They bought the rights. They bought the rights to the song and put it up for free. I mean, you can just listen to that as a music video too, though, right? But yeah, I don't know, man. I like, everybody handles things differently. Some people just choose to stop doing it altogether because they don't want to deal with the negativity and people being knobs. But you just got to realize it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. Like, somebody leaving a little shitbag comment only matters if you take it on board. And as far as I'm concerned, why would I? Why would I take it on board? Really? Ah, your videos suck. Oh, damn. I got to stop my channel. Nobody likes you. Oh, no, I thought people did. I guess I was wrong. I got to stop my channel. Nobody even watches this channel. Comment left on a video with 15,000 views. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'll stop now. You know, like... Toby, what originally prompted me to start a YouTube channel? This channel started out just to make announcements for the game store that I went to let people know when standard rotation and stuff was happening. And it only had like 25 people who watched it. And then me and Carly just made a random, like, life was very difficult. And just for something to do, we made a random video talking about an upcoming Magic product. Because then when people at the store would ask me, like, I was the guy who ran the events and stuff, they'd be like, hey, what do you think about this product or whatever? So I just made the video. It was like for like Arch Enemy, I think. And I just made that video. We made that video. And then a whole bunch of people found the channel. Like that video got tens of thousands of views, which was not the plan. And then a bunch of people found the channel. And I almost deleted the video and everything off the channel and stopped using it. It wasn't the first time that a video of mine, because I have another channel called Hatcher now. Like, I don't remember. It was probably called Hatcher back then too. It went through a number of different names. But either way, I have multiple YouTube channels. The one to tell people what's going on at the game store, and one to make videos to talk about what I wanted to talk about for my friends on Facebook. So on that channel, a video that I did talking about people going ape shit on like an Easter egg hunt. There was like an Easter egg hunt where it got wild. So I just did a video on that for my friends. And then like thousands of people watched that video. And I was like, who are you people? What are you doing here? I don't want this. And I fucking deleted everything. I got rid of everything, which is hilarious for a guy who always wanted to be an entertainer. I don't know. Maybe subconsciously my fear of failure was reacting to that. And it's funny how the brain works, because I almost destroyed this channel too. Like, I wiped everything off that channel and then just made announcement videos for the game store. All of a sudden people are watching this video on the channel, and I was about to wipe it. And then I was just like, I'll go read. I'm going to read the comments. May as well see what people had to say before I get rid of it. Because on the other channel, almost everybody was positive. There was very little negativity over there. Less than, I'm surprised there wasn't more, actually, based on the way the internet is. But I decided I'd look at the comments, and they were like overwhelmingly positive, and on top of that, connected with Magic the Gathering. And so, like, I love Magic, and all of a sudden it's like, there's all these people here who love Magic too. You know what? I'll we'll keep this going. We'll see what happens. And so then we decided that we were going to make a video like once a week. And we did that for like a week or two. And then I just said, okay, here's the thing. I want to make videos all the time, like all the time. That's what I want to do. And because I always wanted to be a fucking entertainer, because I always wanted to be a comedian, because I always wanted to make people happy. When I started, I made 5, 6, 7 videos a day. Me and Carly would be sitting there like she'd be editing the videos while I kept recording new ones. Like it was just this nonstop insane flow where some of my friends were like, I got to unsubscribe. You're making way too much content, man. I can't keep up. All right, so I'm out. And so I did that at first, and then I like slowed it down to like a video a day, but I automatically did a video every day. And lately I've been doing pretty much a video every day, but spread around to different channels and stuff like that, right? So that's how it started. And back then I wanted to be an entertainer a long time ago, but like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go like, there was no internet. I'm going to go to fucking like Hollywood and try and make it, go to LA. Like that's stupid. You're not going to make it. That's a waste of your time. You know, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. In fact, I realized that I've always thought that I was funny and entertaining, and that is important to who I am. It's so important to who I am that my fear of finding out that it wasn't true made me avoid anywhere I could find out it was true. So I had people who tried to get me to go and do stand-up with them, and I avoided doing it. I avoided all the kind of things that might shatter my self-image. Now, I didn't do this consciously, but I recognized that's what I was doing. So this kind of backdoored me into the whole thing. And then it's just like, well, you're already here. You're already here, so let's just roll with it. And it took like maybe 2 weeks before I literally looked at myself in the mirror and was like, you're going to run in this hamster wheel till you die. Like, that was it. That's it. Like, even if I could never make another fucking dollar doing this, I would still straight up be like, I'm going to do live streams. I'm going to make videos. Why would I not? Why would I not? You know what I mean? I never started this for the money. I fucking am over the moon that the money is what lets me do this the way I want to full time, where I can live stream whenever I want, make videos whenever and however I want. Like, that is amazing to me. And I've gotten to do that for years now, and no one can take that from me. No, people will be like, you're shit, you're not an entertainer, whatever. It's like, bro, not even my own fears can do that to me, because it's like the proof is here. The proof is fucking here, son, right? Jess, you don't got to be cool to do fucking YouTube. That's not required at all. All you got to do is want to make videos. The great thing about starting a YouTube channel is if you failure in this case is nobody's watching your videos. That means nobody watched you fail. Like, do you know how many things in life people would try if they knew no one could see them fail at it? Amiibo, you did stand up because you wanted to knock it off your bucket list? Well, congratulations, buddy. I did not have the belief in myself or courage to pursue my dreams. So I went a practical route, right? And then my dreams came a knocking when it was actually possible and the stars all aligned. And even though I fire burned down my first success, it's so funny to think that I got freaked out by a bunch of people showing up and subscribing to my channel and thousands of people watching my video. And I'm like, no. Got rid of all of it. Like, it's hilarious considering it's what I wanted. You know what I mean? What you want falls in your lap and you just fling it away like it's a poisonous snake or something. That's wild. That's wild. Now, just got to actively pursue it. I am looking forward to whatever the next step is. I'm kind of feeling my way out into it right now. Habanero, finished doing the dishes so your girlfriend owes you a game of Magic. Nice. Have fun, buddy. Tavalis, what's the cutoff of subs or patrons or something like that where you can comfortably become a full-time YouTube dude? That is going to vary widely based on your living costs. Like, for example, I don't own a house. I don't have a car. I take the bus. I keep my expenses low. So what is like, I live with my wife. I pay for everything. I can take care of both of us, but we do not live like a sumptuous life, right? So it really depends on what your standards for quality of living is. Whatever kind of channel you make determines the kind of advertising that you'll get. And it doesn't just turn into subs and patrons. Like, the majority of what I get comes from fan funding, absolutely. If I had to get by on just ad revenue, it would be a nice little side add-on to whatever I was getting from the job that I would have to have. So there's no set answer for that. There's no set answer. All right. Well, shit, I didn't realize it's like midnight. Thanks for coming and hanging out, my friends. Thus ends the stream. I will see you guys next time.